All right, everyone, I'm here with a very special guest, Mobile Gamer, and we're going to talk about what I think are really the two big reasons why people aren't happy with the game right now. And it comes down to, are you having fun? And do you trust Scopel Next? Or Scopelneck, or whatever you want to call them today, Mobile Gamer.
Scopelnex with
Right.
Necks, yes.
So did you have fun this week?
I did. So I got to give fair disclosure. There was a lot of activities that I had fun this week. Do you want me to go down them?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I personally am quite enjoying DD4. I'm finding it an amazing, good experience. I feel like I make progress every day. I feel that it's insanely difficult, insanely challenging, and it feels like worth doing. I personally find it fun. I look forward to doing it, right? But that's the problem with that is that's not a repeatable experience. We talked about that, right?
Yeah, it's hard to replicate because, getting the DD4 materials without Vrondius's planner, most people would be lost, spinning their wheels, equipping one piece of gear at a time to other characters. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I personally am enjoying the entire DD4 experience. And I actually also enjoyed my DD2 experience in unlocking Ultron, the whole thing. It was a good experience for me. I really think it's great. Also, this week I had fun in Alliance Wars. 2 out of the 3 Alliance Wars we had this week, which is an anomaly. We're competitive. We won one, we lost one. There was a lot of planning that went into evolve into these hybrid teams on defense. A lot of time went into that, and I personally enjoyed all of that. Now, the problem with Alliance Wars is that in this entire season, we will get 2 competitive wars, period. The rest will all be auto wins or auto loses, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's just those time zones. So I guess the problem is, like, for me, like, having fun, I had fun with, taking up the Axemen and showcasing them and blowing through the Doom raid, and I had fun taking up my characters. I finished Dark Dimension 4, like, right a little after my birthday, got Doom and playing around with Doom and learning with different comps. And I had fun when I was able to level up and enjoy a character, and
I had fun with X-Men too, right? And you know what? They worked with minimal resources. It wasn't like, oh, you just not doing it right. You need more T4s. They just worked. It's great, right?
Yeah. So I mean, and I really feel like it was really interesting because didn't they have an event when the symbiotes came out where they gave us gear and ISO? So ISOs came out and symbiotes came out all that same time, right?
Yeah.
And we had that gear event where they gave us a bunch of G14 and G15 gear. So I'm kind of like, well, are they going to do that for Axemen? And I kind of hope so because, I'm hearing this rumor coming up, and I'm having less fun if I.
But I think that event was an ISO 8 launch event. I remember it being very generous, especially with the ISO 8.
Well,
is that the event you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about there was a symbiote one where you were using your symbiotes.
Oh, yeah. Blitzing, yeah.
Different, kind of like they did with Skeletal, but the Skeletal one had a lot less rewards and was a lot harder to use them in multiple game modes because they just weren't geared that way.
Right.
That being said, I'm nervous. Like I have less fun because I don't know that I trust. So there's rumors out there, right? You know what the rumors are. We can talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if I buy all of them. What, Silver Surfer and X Factor?
Right. That's the 2 rumors that we've been hearing. Correct.
So X Factor is more mutants. And what did I just do?
Yeah, you upgraded some mutants. I think we know where you're going with this is like X Factor looks like it's Symbiotes 2.0, and as far as I'm concerned, when Symbiotes got released in October, that was an amazing month. I think a lot of people really enjoyed that, and I'm wondering if Scopely is going to try to replicate that experience with X Factor and effectively destroy your investment in Axemen.
Yeah, well, and that won't be fun, right? But that's like, it's a trust factor, right? So I'm nervous. I'm sitting here and I'm sweating, and I'm like, all they have to do is add one character, and they're better than the Axemen everywhere, right? Just one character, one feature that they can just blow them out of the water. So think about this, right? I don't trust Scopely has my money and values best interest at heart. That's bad. That's bad, right? Like, if you had a choice of mobile carriers, would you invest in the one that you don't trust?
Right. Well, I want to go back and because what you're talking about is did you have fun and do you trust them, right?
Yeah.
I did mention some things where I was having fun, but I didn't. We admitted some things where I did not have fun playing this
Oh,
game.
here we go. I know. Here it comes.
Yeah, we can't just give that a pass. There was a lot of, first of all, Simblitz is considered to be a success, right? But boy, that's a hit. 2 hours, man. I don't know if I like it. I mean, it's fine, but I understand. But it's like, this Iceman scores were off the chart. I mean, I played about as nearly perfectly as I could, and the scores were through the roof. And I don't know. Is that fun? I don't. That's neutral. Would say that's neutral. I wouldn't call it fun or bad. It's neutral, right?
Did you make top 100?
No, 148, and I did like my highest score ever, 47.6 million, and I was 148. Anyway, so that's a neutral experience, right? I don't think that was bad. Bad experience. Coming close to payout in the top 10, walking away from my phone and then seeing that I placed 28th.
Really?
Yeah, slingshotted. Not fun because of a mechanic / bug, something that I don't know. Not fun. Not fun. I mean, arena. What's the point of me even caring about arena if I can get slingshotted or locked?
So that's not fun. This isn't a new bug either, right?
No. And there's videos out there on YouTube explaining some of these things that are since October, right? At least, and the slingshot's been going on for a year. Or more, maybe even longer. And then lastly, there was any point in time that I had any ounce of fun whatsoever in RTA. Zero, none.
Yeah, I actually last night I had to do my tech one. I threw my my Doom in the middle because I knew people would try to attack it and clone it. Just got my tech ability. I didn't care if I won or lost. And what a bad competitive mode if it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You just wanted to get it done.
Yeah,
and so it's a big miss.
And then raids were our neutral experience for me also. Like some of the new raids that I have to play manually, and when I get to use Axeman, that's a good experience. The raids that are some of the other raids are just literally time sinks, loading in autoplay, things like that. So that's not a. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a bad experience, but I don't know if it's good either. It's just it's an experience.
Yeah. So I like. For me, like fun is solving puzzles, which was like Dark Dimension 4 right there, right? We had puzzles that we had to solve and kind of figure that out. And it's different everywhere you go too. There's going to be a different puzzle when you hit global and different types of puzzles when you hit cosmic and different types of puzzles when you hit, legendary and city.
Right.
So it's actually interesting. If they can build more content like that, it's not bad. But the problem is that end game and when you get there will it be relevant
right.
And so like I said, I definitely I just wasn't having as much fun this week unless it was playing with my X-Men.
Right. Well, and I got to say that fun is subjective. I get that. But for me, fun in this game, it comes in 3 different ways. First of all, I do enjoy upgrading and developing out my roster. It's definitely Pokemon, got to catch them all. It's a hero collector game. I enjoy upgrading my roster, and there's been frustrations with that. Specifically, training materials is probably my number one frustration, right? And then the second thing that the game is a puzzle. Literally, I see a team, I build a team, and I go against that team, and I solve a puzzle. And then the third wave that that we can have fun in this game, or I perceived having fun, is like when I actually win, and that's so there's some. For me, I think that's where RTA is a big miss because there's no incentive for me to upgrade my roster whatsoever in RTA. There's no incentive. There's no puzzle to be solved. The teams are blind when you load in.
Yeah.
There's no puzzle. There is no. I don't
no
perceive
puzzle.
it as a puzzle.
There's no puzzle there.
And then there's no incentive to win. So for me, and I'm not everybody. For me, that's a miss in all 3 areas.
Yeah, and I think when you said upgrading my roster, obviously catch them all. I think I'm only got 6 that aren't maxed now, right? So I've caught them all and leveled their abilities and taking them up there. But the biggest thing about that is even at my status, it's hard for me to level them up and make them useful to showcase whether or not you should these days because they're not even selling the offers. It's like they're creating such an artificial scarcity. They don't even know what to do with like.
Well, I don't think you're going to get a lot of sympathy for that complaint.
No, but what I'm telling.
There's not enough stuff to buy, is what you just said. But I hear what you're saying.
The problem I have is like I can't even I can't. I don't have the faith to take and level up the rest of my X-Men with X Factor looming, because if I wanted to showcase these teams at a high level, there will be no resources. I'll never have resources, and I will be so far behind in the game again.
Right, and I think regardless if you're what other parts in the game, what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that there's this feeling that there are always new characters coming out, bottlenecks on bottlenecks on bottlenecks, which is a scopal neck. And it stacks up to the point where a new character comes out, and I feel like I'm getting behind, and I haven't even started working on the last team that I was interested in. And I have so many teams I want to develop, but then they introduce the next thing, and then the team I was working on is bad, and then the frustration is, and the game is into some level about bottlenecks and overachieving bottlenecks, but I view those bottlenecks as frustration mechanics that were specifically deployed intentionally by the developers to create pressure points for us to spend. And what I'm seeing is that they're not even giving people an opportunity to do that. It's literally just frustration for nothing is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I think that, and again, I'll say this: G12 feels irrelevant. And then if you get to G14, then it's you'll start seeing these G15 matchups as time goes on, as more people are leveling up the dark dimension. It's this tier of constant competition and making these right choices. So the problem is Well,
that is the game though. I kind of if you upgrade, I take pleasure in upgrading the correct teams and having a lean roster. I know you looked at my roster a year ago, and you said, "Wow, you don't have the TCP, but your top 20 characters are the best 20 characters in the game, and you're competitive." We were playing in PvP, remember? And you said, "No, you got the right characters up. You can win in PvP with that." That is the fun of the game, is upgrading the right stuff and the stuff that you like, and where. Hopefully I'm adding value and people are upgrading the right characters. If you want to upgrade Ravager Stitcher, go for it, but you're going to set yourself back.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like if I'm doing things so you don't have to, but I can't do it anymore, I'm not having fun, right? And that's the problem. Is I feel like I'm almost making myself irrelevant by making some of the wrong. So I have to be even more careful with my choices here. Like I'm not as much on the fence about Night Nurse anymore, because I'm actually finding.
Oh yeah, she's great, by the way.
She's great, right? I'm finding her very useful. But I like to be able to take it in and test it before I make that recommendation, because nobody has the funds to spend in the game the way that I do. Even I don't. But I mean, I do it anyway because that's how I've been playing the game for years. And the idea behind comes down to, I don't trust teams when they're coming out anymore, that they're worth my investment. I'm nervous. So X-Men, if X Factor comes out, they become irrelevant. We're going to talk about that on your video, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, but for sure, it's interesting, right?
Yeah. So by the way, we're wrapping this one up here, guys. Tell me what you think. If you guys had fun in this week, what did you guys have fun doing? Let me know in the comments here. And more importantly, do you trust Scopely? I mean, with all the accidents, the bugs, the oopsies, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit less trust with my dollar than I have ever had, as I'm sitting here staring at my 3 red star, character that I can't even showcase on videos doing content that I want to showcase. So catch you guys soon. Check us out. Check out Mobilegamers. We're going to answer some of those hot questions that we didn't answer here. Remember, I do things so you don't have to, including going broke, apparently. Talk to you later. Later.
Bye.